Well, hello there. I've got a quick one for you today. And this is if you have tight hips, the outer hips in particular, this is a facilitated stretch. Now, we're all familiar with stretching, but this is a facilitated stretch. The difference is that you are activating the muscle that you want to lengthen. Hi, I'm Lenore. I help people reduce stiffness and pain by improving body awareness because you can't change what you're not aware of. This helps people move more functionally so they can continue doing the activities they love. Great. So you're going to come onto your back. So take your left ankle onto your right knee. So this, without lifting the right foot off the floor, you might already feel a stretch in your left outer hip. Otherwise, you can lift the right foot off the floor, bring your knees closer to you, and either bring your hands, hug the back of your right leg or the top of your right shin, depending on your flexibility. Another option is you could put a block under your foot to bring it a little bit closer. It all depends on how it feels in your outer hip. So we're here. This is the classic stretch for your outer hips. So here's the difference. With a facilitated stretch, you're going to, first of all, flex your left foot. So pull the toes towards your knee. Second of all, and you should feel that increases the stretch on your outer hip. Second of all, you're going to your left knee, you're going to press the knee away from your chest, not from using your hand, but from using your outer hip muscles. Then you're going to stay here and breathe. I would suggest about a count of 6. And then you can release that. Uncross and simply straighten your legs out and observe the sensation of your left hip versus your right. It should feel a little looser, longer, like the legs resting closer to the floor. Just notice that. And then we can do the other side. So bend the knees, right ankle on left knee. So you're either here and flexing the right foot, pulling the toes towards you, noticing what your sensation is like, or you can bring the foot off the floor, hold the thigh or the top of the knee, and then again, flex the foot. You can think about, here's a little refinement, the outer edge of your right foot towards your knee. That's called eversion. And that might accentuate the stretch sensation on your right outer hip. Then here's the other piece, is to press your right knee away from your chest, you should feel a sensation in your right outer hip muscle. So we're activating the muscle while it's lengthening. And you're going to hold this for a count of 6. Breathe here. We don't want to be holding our breath or have any tension in the body, just the sensation of using your outer hip muscles and the muscles of everting your right foot. And then you can release that, uncross, and go ahead and extend both legs. Notice and observe the sensation. Another option there is to do a pigeon pose stretch, which is more of your body weight is going to be leaning into it, so it might not be appropriate. So you have a choice between the ankle on knee that we just did or pigeon pose, but the same principle applies. So let's just start by coming onto your hands and knees. You can lift the knees, bring your right shin across the mat so your right knee is behind the right wrist. Then start to walk the back leg back. You get to decide how deep you come here. We want to make sure our hips are square and we're not falling to the right. So in this position, you can come onto your forearms here. What we're going to do First of all, most of the time we're in pigeon pose, we're just passive here, or we're resting the head down, which you're welcome to do if you like. But so the facilitated stretch version of this is your right knee, you're going to press that down into the floor. Your hips will rise as a result, which you think might take you a little bit out of the stretch, but in fact, it's facilitating the stretch. So you're gonna hold that. So keep pressing your right knee into the mat. You can even press the right outer edge of your foot into the mat. And you're going to breathe. And then you can release that. You might feel your hips actually sink a little bit deeper, which shows you the power of that facilitated stretch. All right, and then you can come back up. Let's do the other side. So left shin across the mat. It doesn't have to be parallel, but the left knee is behind the left wrist. With the right foot, you can walk that back to whatever feels good for you, and then come onto your forearms, or you can rest your head on stacked fists, a block, stacked hands, whatever you like. Now, here's a variation. You can actually walk your elbows over towards the foot. So you're at a little bit of an angle here to the right. So go ahead and press now the left knee into the floor and feel the hips rise. You can also press the outer edge of your left foot into the floor. Another way of thinking about this is to draw the back knee here forward as you press your left knee down, okay? So there's some effort required here. I would suggest about 30% effort in this pose. So you're going to stay here for a few breaths, continuing to press your left knee into the floor. One more breath. And then you can release that and feel the hips sink down, yielding to gravity. So what a facilitated stretch is in this instance is resistant gravity. And then you can come back on up. So just notice how that feels in the hips. It's a great way to lengthen the hip muscles even more than from your basic stretch. If you enjoyed this video, please drop me a like or subscribe to my channel. I look forward to sharing with you soon. Bye for now.